Hey, I'm Jeff.
I'm Brad.
And today on Dude Food, we're making potato gnocchi with pork sausage and grated Parmesan cheese.
The first chef I worked for back in the day when I first moved to New York was a guy named Marco Canora at a restaurant called Kraft, who now has a restaurant called Hearth. But he used to make the best gnocchi and still does make the best gnocchi. He mills them, spreads them out, hits them with the flour that you'll see, flour, eggs, a little bit of Parmesan cheese, and then gathers the dough together and rolls them out that way. We're going to do it a little bit different. We're going to take the potatoes here that have been boiled for about 45 minutes to an hour till they're completely cooked.
We started them off in cold water, cold salted water.
We feel that the best potato to use is a russet.
The reason we use russet potatoes are because they're dry, they're starchy, they don't get waterlogged easy, and you want a nice dry potato.
To peel these, really simple. You just take a little top of the potato off, and then you take your paring knife and just peel it all the way down. So it is hot, but if you got that technique down, you shouldn't have any problems.
You just kind of want to chop these up a little bit like this. All right, and you can use a ricer. This is a ricer, or you can use a food mill. You want to press it right through here. It just gets the potatoes nice and smooth. You don't want any lumps in them.
And you know, when you overwork potatoes, if you were to put them in the food mill and work them around, it's going to develop the protein in the potatoes, and they're going to be gummy and not nice. Not nice. So while you're rocking that out, I'll start on the essentially the ragu that we're using to sauce the gnocchi. This is pork sausage that we actually made at Emis. It's pork, fat back, a little bit of black pepper, a little bit of garlic. And if you want to learn how to make this pork sausage, just check out our bonus episode.
So we're going to put the gnocchi together. We're going to season it up with a little bit of kosher salt, some black pepper, some grated Parmesan cheese. Doesn't have to be Parmesan. You could use Grana, but something with similar flavor.
A little pecorino would be nice.
A little pecorino you could. Some all-purpose flour or 00 flour. You want to do a little grated nutmeg in there. I've always seen recipes with grated nutmeg, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you always put a little grated nutmeg in.
Little bit of nutmeg.
And then you want to put one egg. All right, just kind of mix it up a little bit with your finger.
Don't overwork it, dude. You want a tough gnocchi.
It's hot, so you want to be careful. You want to just mix it just until it's combined. Any over mixing, you're gonna have a real gummy gnocchi.
All right, so with the ragu, I got a hot pan, heavy pan, and we're gonna start browning the sausage. In this case, we're using a fresh sausage, and this is actually something, like again I said before, this is something we made at the restaurant. But if you were going to the grocery store, you're just looking for fresh sausage. You don't want anything like a bratwurst or anything that's already been cooked.
So we're gonna start rolling some gnocchi out while that's cooking. All you're gonna do is take a little piece, and that just mixed for literally 35, 40 seconds, just until it all came together. And you just want to roll it out into a log that's about an inch and a half in diameter. Brad, you want to take a piece
Yeah,
of
I'll take some.
piece of dough over there? Start rolling some.
So yeah, you don't want to let this caramelize. Just let that go. You don't want to mess with it. Let it brown. You got extra flour?
Yep. You're just gonna roll these out. Make sure they're nice and even. You really want to make sure they're even because when they're cooking, you want them all to cook at the same time. And you're just gonna cut down all the way. You got a sheet tray, Brad?
Yeah.
So these gnocchi, when they're done, you just put them all on a sheet tray. You put them in the refrigerator. They last about 1 day. Any longer, they start to get moisture from the fridge and they start to get gummy. You don't want to freeze these. If you start to freeze them, what happens is they'll fall apart on you. They'll fall apart the next day when you go to cook them off.
So we're chopping up this sausage, getting this going, just like anytime we're making a pasta. The pasta water is our friend. So we're gonna brown this a little bit, and then we're gonna add some of the pasta cooking liquid.
You always want to season the water. You want to add enough salt so it tastes almost as salty as the ocean. And the reason you do that is because pasta has no salt in the dough. Gnocchi has very little salt in the dough. So the only way it's going to get seasoned is if you put salt inside the water.
So at this point, the sausage is nice and brown. We're gonna add a little bit of pasta cooking with it to kind of stop the browning and finish cooking so everything kind of comes together.
So while he's getting ready for that, we're gonna grate a little Parmesan cheese.
So you ready to do the drop?
You don't want to drop too much at once because you want the water to stay boiling. If you drop everything at once, what's gonna happen is the temperature of the water is gonna cool down, and the gnocchi is gonna sink to the bottom, and they're all gonna cook in one big pile. And what you're gonna pull out is a big dough of
gigantic gnocchi. You know, when you drop them in, they're gonna sink to the bottom. They're gonna float when they're cooked. But you want to give them like another, what do you say, another minute once they float.
Once they flow, you want about another minute just to make sure they're cooked. That's about all I'm going to put in there for right now.
And you don't want to get in there and beat them up too much, right? Otherwise they're going to fall apart. So the gnocchi are done. They're floating. They've been in there for about 3 or 4 minutes.
That's plenty.
That's
Fun, yeah. It's a good fun thing to make. You can make them at home with your family. You can make them with your kids.
Let's get some cheese in there. Oh yeah. So we're gonna get a little butter in there. So we're gonna turn the heat down.
Give it a quick toss.
Give it a little toss.
Look at those. And they're even staying together while he's flipping them. They're not falling apart.
Gotta be gentle.
I just done them on the plate. Yeah, smash
Nice
them.
and gentle.
Look at those.
This is potato gnocchi with pork sausage. Thanks for watching Dude Food.
And don't forget to subscribe.
Don't screw up Valentine's Day this year. Surprise that special someone with the ultimate pleasure, Nutella butter. You'd have to be crazy to live off vending machine food, unless it's coming from one of these 5 super machines. The Greeks might not know how to balance a budget, but they sure can make a sandwich. Click here and learn how to make a souvlaki Sammy. Check out Furious Pete, Chris Thompson, and John from Simply Spoons as they and the gang get hurly-burly with some haggis. Subscribe for more free tasted treats.